Earlier on, whilst I was out running, I was reflecting on how important presence is when it comes to healing. It is important in all areas, of course, but this was the area that I primarily thought about. For example, when a healer has been able to let in a certain amount of presence, I say let in as presence is always there and not something we develop, they will be able to be present with a client. This is likely to be a time when try will be connected to their heart, as opposed to being caught up in their head. Transformation. Through being fully present, they will be able to hold the space, which will allow the other person to go where they haven't felt comfortable enough to go by themselves. What they have avoided can then end up being brought up to the light and acknowledged. When this happens, the emotional pain and beliefs that were tormenting them can disappear. There was then no need for the healer to do anything, they simply needed to be with the client. A radically different approach. This approach is nothing like what is often put forward in today's world, where it is often all about changing or removing negative thoughts and beliefs. In many ways, this approach is the result of a lack of presence. Instead of simply being with what is taking place, it is all about using force and willpower. This can be seen as what happens when someone is caught up in their mind, whereas being with what is what happens when someone feels comfortable in their own body. Total acceptance. Trying to remove or change things is then a sign that someone is trying to run away or to escape from themselves. They are resisting how they feel because they don't feel comfortable with what is taking place within them. When someone is present with what is going on within them, there is no desire to change anything. In the same way that they might be fully present if they had a puppy or a kitten in front of them, they will simply be with their inner world. Pain is the barrier. Not only will pain stop someone from being able to be with themselves, it will also have been what caused them to be in this position to begin with. Therefore, the less pain/trauma someone has within them, the easier it is likely to be for them to be present. What this also means is that the only reason a healer has the ability to be present is due to the amount of healing work they have done on themselves. And, as they are still human beings, there are bound to be moments when they lose their presence. In the beginning. So, presence is what allows people to heal and a lack of presence is what causes them to be wounded. The perfect example of this is when someone was neglected during their early years, which would have meant that their caregivers were physically unavailable but emotionally absent and/or they were physically absent. Either way, their lack of presence would have probably caused them to feel rejected, abandoned and as though they were worthless, amongst other things. There was then no need for their caregivers to say anything nasty or to hit them. The fact that they were not available was enough to severely harm them. Final thoughts. Modern-day technology has consumed a lot of people's attention, making it hard for them to be present with their friends, family and even their children. When someone is glued to their smartphone, for instance, it can be normal for the people around them to feel ignored and as though they are not important. Not only does this kind of behavior ruin relationships, it also has a negative effect on other human beings. With this in mind, it shows how much of a positive effect someone can have on the world when they are present. Teacher, prolific writer, author, and coach, Oliver Jr. Cooper, hails from England. His insightful commentary and analysis covers all aspects of human transformation, including love, partnership, self-love, and inner awareness. With over 1,700 in-depth articles highlighting human psychology and behavior, Oliver offers hope along with his sound advice. Also, if you are interested in a guide that changed my life, please click link in description.